So, hi everyone, and in this video I'll be covering a detailed recap of the previous week, which lasted from the 19th of uh, January 2026 down to the 23rd of January 2026. So, we had our weekly outlook, and we're looking around at this level, and the expectation that probably if price fails to break out of this zone, we may sell down lower, fill this gap before we push up higher. But then we saw that price actually successfully broke this level and kept on pushing higher, which you could see on the screen, whereby we had our weekly outlook and all that. So it was actually a beautiful week, lots of opportunities. We missed lots of them though, but then we could use this as a way to sharpen our minds and get ready for the new week. So without any further delay, I would love to jump into it. Already I've done everything. I just want the video to be brief, something we could just easily look at the traits and opportunities and all of that, and how we could actually take advantage of them with the new week. So with the weekly outlook, we're actually expecting this, but then I'm not really a fan of gaps, because those gaps actually expose us to some extent to some possibilities that could cause off like sell-offs and all of that. But then regardless of anything, we would actually get a sign before those moves happen. So with market open, price gapped by over 500 pips on Monday, over 500 pips or so. That was actually a lot. That was one of the biggest gaps that we've seen so far, and I actually expected that with the way we were locked in at this level, that price started to range at this level, we might actually get a fill up, or maybe even if it's 50%, we might actually get 50% fill of the gap before we push up higher. But then price did not have that in mind completely, and most reason why we had this range was due to the bank holiday last Monday in the US. But then this is what happened. We saw this after price gapped up, we saw this level that was signaling as though price was going to sell off, because it was already giving all of that sign. And if we take 50% of this week on the 4-hour time frame, we could see that this was our resistance level. So most sellers will be looking for their sales around this level, and would be a solid trade to get at least 500 pips or so back down. You could see it's up to 700 if price should fill up the gap. But instead, price kept on hitting at the same spot, and that's actually giving me a sign that price was starting to play another game. Price was actually trying to change the whole story or the whole narrative, because if you're taking this kind of trade or sell entry, the expectation is that when price taps into this level now, this is your confirmation that price will sell off. But instead of price to hold this guy now as a way to break this low, because if price actually did hold this level, take out this low right here, I don't know if you guys are saying this low right here, if price actually did with this tap falling back, break this low right here, the expectation is that this was the confirmation that price would actually sell off to fill into this gap. This is your confirmation. But then instead of price to do that, price now gave a full body close above the high that attempted to do that. Immediately that should actually change your bias and make you switch to a bullish setting, because already it means that this sell trade is not strong again, the sell signal is not strong again. That was what happened at this level here, and that is why I actually marked out this zone. I called about 2 buy trades that day on my VIP, but because of the noise here, price actually wicked us out before this final move. But it was actually pretty obvious, and you could see what happened after that. Down towards early Asia on Tuesday, price held up this solid buy that went as high as giving us about 900 pips or so. It was actually a very beautiful ride, but very, very aggressive, because there was no form of retracement. My expectation at this point, at around early London session, was that price would actually come back, tap back into this 50% and push up higher. This is where the challenge happens, and why I do not like how price has been moving lately, because all of this is just going to keep building liquidity, that all of a sudden those that are crazily bullish and those that are actually forgetting a lot of stuff will just get ate up, because this was where price was meant to come back to pick up more entries, push up higher, a more discounted level, but price failed to do that. And after it failed to do that, late that day, towards the close of the day, we saw what happened here. This was now the most valid looking zone that popped up with this breakout structure here. So because of the fact that price is actually very, very bullish, we could actually take in this trade. But still, the key expectation of any trader that is actually trading a system whereby you actually look for your sales in, or your buys in your discount level and your sales in your premium level, your expectation is that you should actually get those entries at this point. But then price failed to do that, and let's New York on this day, Tuesday, we saw this breakout structure right here, and if we take our fib zone, just mark into the discount level, stick to your risks, and you can see price came into it and actually held up to buy up higher. You see, one thing that actually happened here was actually very crazy stuff, because with this break here, if I don't know if you can see, this candle already triggered this trade at this point, but then the next candle that formed was a full body bearish candle that gave a full body close below this week. Most sellers now, this is actually a sell signal. This is actually a sell signal that you should actually look for sales, but then it was actually a very solid trap, because you could see what happened with the tap back into the level. Price actually, this next bullish candle started to reject, but then next in price gave a full body close above this sell signal candle. What that actually means is that this candle now, this sell entry now here, has been flipped and inverted to be a buy. This was exactly what happened. This was the only reason why price taps back into this level, because this sell was a very strong sell, but then due to the failure now of this level right here, now price flips that level as way to buy. And if we should take our tool here, you could notice that it was after the invalidation of this level that price actually gave a very solid buy up. And if you are taking this, you could actually easily put your stop somewhere here, probably let's just say at this low here, and you could easily just chase the next level here, which whereby I marked this, and you could see it was a very beautiful trade. So sellers that were selling at this point could actually easily switch with the inversion of this level, and you get a very beautiful and solid trade. This happened down towards Asia on Wednesday, and after that we saw something that we haven't actually seen in a while. After all of the bullish run down on Wednesday, early Wednesday, we saw some selling confirmation. How would we actually identify this? It's because of the fact that the same thing that happened at this point here, failure to come back to this level, was the same thing that was cooking up here. But then if you notice what happened after the breakout structure here on lower time frame, price still came back into this level and bought up, that's respecting this zone, bought up in as a way to take out this high. But then on its way getting there, price failed to take out this high with this move that broke that came up. And if we should switch up to 30 minutes, let's go up to 30 minutes. Is this actually on 30 minutes? Yes, it's on 30 minutes. On 30 minutes now, what you tend to notice is that price sold off, took out this valid low that was actually meant to take out this. This is actually a shift that is giving us indication that price is actually going to fall off. But then where is price going to fall off to? Remember, we had this level here now that price failed to pick up others from here initially. So you could easily mark it out, and you could see I've marked it out already. So you could easily take your sell, full body close below this low. If I should take fib sold again, this is actually a very easy entry. You could see this was actually exactly where you should be looking for yourself. Where a more precise sell entry would be this candle that tested the bullish level. That's next thing we saw the full body close below the low. The same concepts that I spoke about here with this inversion of that level. Easily set your candle like this, 50% of it, and take, and you could see solid sell trade about 5 hours. It was very solid. And note that the same way I talked about the inversion lower here, if with this entry now into this level, price failed to sell now, and instead what we saw was something like this, a breakout of this zone, you'd notice that About 90% sure price will tap into this week of the top of this candle, and next thing we'll see is this would be what we would actually see. So take note of that. It's actually a very solid entry. You can actually check it out for yourself if it actually works also. But after that, we sold off into this level, and still expectation would be probably we might sell off as low as this, but also taking caution over this guy too is a very strong level as how price is bullish. So down Thursday we could see price tapped TP here at this zone early late Wednesday. After I did that, if you should take your buy trade from this point and get this high, weak it, and next thing give a very beautiful run. And if you notice what happened here, let me go down to 15 minutes. This was on Thursday. With the market open, price actually gapped down, and after the gap we saw a full close above the gap, towards the gap level. Let me tell you one thing is that if price was going to sell off, right, you see everything is just very, I think everything is very, very clear with this game. If price was going to sell off, you could still see the confirmation, that is price tapped into the what they call it, into the gap. And the idea was that if with this confirmation now, if price comes back and taps into this level and it still does not take out this high, price will sell off. That was why when price tapped into this level, you could see the whole selling pressure. But next thing, what did you see? Full body close above this high here and above the gap. Next thing you could easily do for yourself is set your entry at the top of the gap, because already this would be a what they call it we could call it a failure thing, because of the failure of price to actually use it as a way to push it higher, to push it down lower, and XAUUSD too. So full body close above this level, easy target, and you could see it's boom, a very strong buy that closed Thursday. And most times, if you've not noticed, this is actually a tip that you could actually use to help with your trading. If you notice, for the past, I think probably 6 to 7 weeks or more, Mondays, Tuesdays most times are bullish. Like Mondays, Tuesdays most times are bullish. Then probably towards Wednesday, Thursday, we might start to see some kind of bearish trades, especially when price is bullish. We might start to see some type of bearish opportunities. But once that thing passes by towards late NY on Thursday, Friday, late NY Thursday down to Friday, price switches and it's actually very, very bullish. And that's exactly what happened here. You could see this was Wednesday. Wednesday was the only day that we had solid sell trades. Down towards Thursday, early Thursday, we had some sell. Down towards the close of NY, we saw the buying continued, and you could still see Friday the same story. So that's actually how this game works. So you could actually take note of that. Actually, something very, very helpful. So when we come back here now, the same thing that happened on, I think, Tuesday or so, we saw looking for more entries at around this level, because this is a more discounted level and where you should actually be setting up your buys from. But notice what price did. Price fell as though it was going to continue the selling. This is where it gets tricky, because I'm talking about this whole stuff of days that are actually bullish, because if not for anything, we would have been able to get solid sell trades from this point that would actually sell gold down back to this level. But notice what happened after this fall off. Now this level was already where most buyers would actually be looking for a continuation. I was actually looking for a continuation at this point, but price took out the buy trade. Can you see it? Let me just mark it out so you know why I'm saying this. This is where the break of structure happened here. There was a gap here. Price tried to come back down into this level to pick up buys, but it failed. It did not tap into it, and this guy automatically becomes inducement. So you should know that price will actually fall back down into the discount level. But then falling back to the discount level, it took out most buyers. And why it actually did that was because of the FVG here. I'll come back to this. But notice how after it did this, price still reclaimed that level, because if it was going to sell off, we might, after this tap into this level, we might start to see some bearish confirmation, and at most with this entry to this point we should see a bear. But then notice what happened. Price closed full body above this high again, But before we come back to that, let's go up to 4 hours so you guys could actually see this. When we come back up to 4 hours, in fact on 4 hours, yes, this is it. Can you see there was an FVG here? So price actually tapped into that FVG, and instead of using this FVG as way to push down lower, we use that level as way to sell. Coming take a closer look at these points. Let's switch down to 1 hour. Sorry, when we take a closer look at this level, when we take a closer look at this level, remember this entry pattern that I said that I spoke about, full body close below this low, take your fib to the year 50%, yeah, 50%, and mark it out. Now, this is what happened. There was strong reaction when price tapped into. So if price was going to sell off, we could have seen that this next candle would have given a full body close to close below this guy and show us a very strong sell trade that would push down lower. But then instead of price to do that, we saw a full body close above this level. The same thing that I said here, it means that price is going to push up higher. Automatically it means that price is going to push up higher. So those sellers that got stops here could easily switch for buys at this point, easily still set your stop at this level and target the next stop, probably here or as high as 5,100, or let's just keep it here. So basically this is the key takeaway, and notice how this whole candle setup is actually something that could actually easily help you to identify a lot of switches in the market, because from this trade here, anybody that held this trade at this point was actually taking some form of risks. But then even the risk that was at this level now, the buyer would still be confident because price was still reclaiming this level, because there was so much bullish confirmation to those buyers at this point, because of the fact that you could also see this. Take this 50% of this guy, we saw the full body close, but can you see how price still respect, even though price weak down, but we did not see full body close below this guy. If there was full body close below this candle here, price will sell off, but there was no full body close below this candle, so there was no way that price was actually going to sell off. There was actually no way that it was going to sell off. So we'll be stopping here. Already you could see that we are actually quite bullish, and price will still push up higher with the market open for the new week. So you could check the Wikilalu video. The link is also in the description of this video that you're watching. Leave a sub to your channel, like this video, share this video, and leave a comment. Let's know what you've learned, and let's get ready for the new week. If you're yet to join the Telegram channel, use the link in the description to join up, and I will see you all in the next one. So I love you all, and ciao.